So, thank you, Deborah. So the way that these scores come about is these individuals who are receiving this award have scored a perfect 5.0. On your OAS, we ask for a 4.0 as a minimum on the 5-point scale. So that's the minimum is a 4.0. We're shooting for a goal of a 4.45. You'll see how we progressed on our goal for achievement of those scores this year. But these individuals to receive this achievement award is they have achieved a perfect 5.0 on their scores. So the next individual is Randall Christie. Pastor Randy was very involved in our class and communicated effectively. I enjoyed interacting with him, and he's always available to answer questions. And Randy's not here with us here, but he may be in the classroom. So is he on? So congratulations, Randall. Really great to have you as a part of the team. He's typing in now. Hey, good to see you. All right, so the next one is Brian McLaughlin. This has been one of my favorite instructors so far. He was so nice and positive, and he wanted us to excel. So again, these are the comments from the students. They've gotten a 5.0 on their ratings, and we're really proud of everybody for putting in that extra effort. So we're going to talk a little bit more during our time today about how we've been looking at these scores and how the feedback from the students influences our training and our development and the pieces that we add in the Illuminate sessions and other areas that we're working on. But yeah, this is a celebration for sure. So let's give Randy, Jordan, and Brian a round of applause. Celebration for you guys. And thank you for the ways that you invest in the students. Oh, and Timothy Sisk. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we had a fourth one. So we'll talk about Timothy Sisk as well, so we don't leave anybody out. I thought it was very unique that Dr. Sisk made video lectures with slides. I've never taken a class where a professor did that, and it helped me to feel like the professor was thoroughly involved and wanted to communicate the material well. This is a good point. This is a student who's pointing out that those video connections, the students that are in the classroom now are very used to video feed. They're not necessarily going to be students who are going to engage well with long sections of text. Although we are giving them that in the reading, they really have much more of an engagement level with us when we can add video and PowerPoint slides and that sort of thing with audio overlays to them. So we're moving more in that direction. Kevin Mahaffey and the ID team are working more toward getting some video engaged in the classroom as well. So we'll be hearing more about that, I'm sure. Okay, so now I am going to tell you a little bit about my joy, the instructional quality team. Thank you, Deborah Lynn, appreciate it. And when I say thank you, Deborah Lynn, you have no idea what that means to me. Every one of the team members in the instructional quality team is so special to me. God just really put together this team. I feel like it was a gift. And if you haven't had a chance to meet them yet or engage with them, I hope that you take some time to get to know them. We've added a couple of new team members recently. So Madeline Seegers has recently joined the team. She'll be a shared resource for us between the ID team, and I think Dr. Brian O'Neill will be having her help him a little bit with some administrative things. So we're happy for Maddie. She was a part of putting things together for us today. And then Teo Skirtu. Teo was a student here at MTS. She graduated with her degree in spiritual formation. She created a MOOC for us, so you might have seen the spiritual formation MOOC. And if you haven't, that's a place to get a badge. So we'll talk about that later. Mike, do I need to do anything here with this?
No.
Okay. Thank you. So if you haven't met Teo yet, she's a dear. She's also doing some teaching and some TA work for us. So they were all very much a part of putting things together for us. But here's what I want to tell you. This is the treat for me. I came to Mike and to Deborah Lynn one day, and I said, we've got this this retreat coming up during the summer, and I would like to do something fun. We need to present to our constituents what's going on in the IQ team. So what do you think? Could you do something to put some kind of a game show or something together? And in 10 minutes, they had an idea for how they would script out this video, and they had the players and the action, and Mike and his incredible skills with videography and cinematography and technology and video editing, and Deborah Lynn with her bubbly personality and great ideas, put together this little video that I want you to see that they've made. And if you know The Office, the television show The Office, this will be familiar to you. It's the Dunder Mifflin commercial. And so this is our take on that. So We don't have any audio, Mike.
Sorry.
Okay, so Mike's running to the to get the audio fixed. Can anybody tell me how we're doing on time on our agenda? It's now 12:30.
Keep rolling.
So we're a few minutes behind, so sorry. Just try not to watch the video until we get started. So I'm going to start talking about some of the year-end review. Well, this is, we ready? Okay, so we're ready.
It all starts with an idea. But you can never tell where an idea will end up. Because ideas spread, they change, they grow. They connect us with the world. And in a fast-moving world, where good news moves at the speed of time, and bad news isn't always what it seems. Because when push comes to shove, we all deserve a second chance. To score. Moody distance learning, limitless classes in a classless world.
It was so much fun working with this team. So that's what they were able to put together. In just a few minutes, they had that script written, and Mike went to work, and Deborah Lynn, and so it's a really fun team to work with. So I no longer have a feed for the PowerPoint, so I'm going to wing it here. The next thing coming up then is, thanks, Mike. Thank you. So a review of last year. I do have an included copy if I need it. So our next thing is just what we talked about last year at our fall kickoff. We talked about the 4 R's for our faculty. We're going to resource, respond, recognize, and reward. So we went to work as a team doing what we could to build some pieces that would make sure that you all could get responses from us. That was one of the #1 complaints, is we just can't get a response from the MDL team. So we started working on putting together an MDL faculty at moody.edu email box. If you're not using that email box, please do. Please funnel all of your questions there. We are working hard to make sure you get a response from that. Our commitment to you is a 24-hour turnaround. We've had a couple of slips with that, but we're working on trying to get things back on track to make sure we get a 24-hour response to you guys. So we've been monitoring that on the weekends. So that's that piece. I'm just going to keep moving through the slides so that we can start talking about these 4 R's. So here's our year in review, things that we did to recognize, respond, reward, and respond to you guys. So we've processed over 1,100 emails. We built a faculty community page for you thanks to Mike Guliuzza and his incredible talent. He'll be going over that with you here in a little bit. We started our once-a-month Illuminate sessions where we try to bring a poignant and very relevant discussion for a 1-hour discussion and online classroom for you all. And then we record that and make that available in the faculty community page. We are also now sending out an announcement every Friday. We did the Faculty of the Year Award. We sent you shirts. Can I have one of the shirts out of the bag? If you did not get a shirt, we actually sent out a survey and said, hey, if you would like to have one of these fabulous shirts and wear a shirt somewhere during the summer and show us what you're doing in your ministry and where you're taking Moody to, we will take you send us a picture, we'll take that picture, we'll put it up on the blog. And so, thanks, Mike. And so these were the shirts that we sent out as high quality Nike shirts to everybody to have a chance to take Moody everywhere you went this summer in your ministry. So we did that. We did some improved course assignments. Andrew Beatty's been working tirelessly on that. We improved our faculty performance scores. So we'll be looking at some metrics. I'll let Andrew talk about that in a little bit. We surpassed our goal. Christian Martinson surpassed the goal for the FYOP completion. 78% of individuals are staying with that program. We beta tested IOTA, still in the process of that. We started a coaching and mentoring program, and Carol Harding is a part of that as well. And then we started a badging program, so we're working on getting those badges out to you guys through a software program called Credly. So that's, again, Mike's work. And we revised the FDMS platform. That, again, is the beta testing of the IOTA. We digitized all the faculty records. That was Teo. Teo and Deborah Lynn set to work making sure that all the faculty records got scanned, and we're completing records for all of you. So if you get an email from them, they're asking you for your transcripts. That's why we need the records all there as we move into new levels of reporting and accreditation and compliance with government. We're working on finalizing our vetting protocols, so you'll be receiving something from us about those. Procedures manual's been updated. We have a first ever faculty survey, so that'll be going out to you in the next 24 hours. You'll see a survey coming to your inbox. We ask you to pay attention to that and please respond. That survey is for us, for the IEQ team. The IQ team wants to know how we're doing. Of the 4 R's that we started out on last year, how did we do in meeting those? So that'll help us to become better and set our goals for next year. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about the surveys. So those are some of our accomplishments for this year, and I just want to thank my team and the IQ team and just say, bravo, you guys have been such an outstanding team to work with. I am just privileged and honored every day. Okay, so I'm going to let Mike talk for a few minutes and give you a tour of the faculty community page. This is your link. We call it the hub. This is the place where all the data is at. There's a calendar there and other features that Mike's going to tell you about, but this is where you should be going to. The MDL faculty at moody.edu email address, and then this source that Mike built for us are really key parts of your connection to the IQ team.
Hello, everyone. As Janet mentioned, my name is Mike Galiutza, and I wanted to highlight a few of the new features that we implemented into the faculty community page this past semester. For those of you who haven't had a chance to get to the page yet, just to review, this is located within your Blackboard account under the Community tab. And that's where we have all the weekly announcements and some other things that we'll go through right now. So first thing, Janet mentioned that we have been sending out weekly announcements. You may remember that we had an email go out every month called The Loop. That has been converted into a weekly announcement now. So keep an eye out on the Announcements tab, which is in the middle of the page. Secondly, we have training sessions, the Illuminate sessions, if you've been attending the once a month on Thursdays. You can find those recordings on the left-hand side. Course resources. This is a wiki page that we put in this past semester that allows you, the faculty member, to upload resources that you found to be helpful in different departments, such as Bible, theology, or just general. And just today, we actually uploaded some really helpful rubrics that you can use for grading in your courses. So take a look at that shared resources area and download a rubric if you have a chance. The academic and instructional quality calendar. So if you go to the moody.edu page, you'll find the academic calendar, but we've also put it over here, streaming live within this module on the page. And below that, you'll see a chart where we'll be uploading new events that we have as an instructional quality team for the faculty. And lastly, this is another new feature. For those of you who are teaching online self-paced courses, we have a new faculty center just for you. And within that area, we have resources for online self-paced courses and some other helpful information that you can use for your online self-paced courses. And lastly, I just wanted to show you the Illuminate sessions that we currently have on the faculty community page as recordings. And also, if you're interested in leading a discussion on the teaching to Change Lives by Howard Hendricks, please email mdlfaculty@moody.edu. And also one more thing, if you don't have access to the faculty community page yet, please email me at the mdlfaculty@moody.edu website, and I'll make sure that you get in. That's all for me. Andrew.
All right, I wanted just to take a few minutes to celebrate some things that have happened in this past year. Again, thanks to Mario Preo, we've been able to improve how we're keeping track of some of these metrics, and we have done an incredible job of improving the quality of the education that we're providing our students. And I am so excited about that. I went back and did a little bit of research just to refresh my mind this week. And for the last 15 years of Moody Distance Learning, the lowest score is always our interaction in the discussion boards. Every single term, this has been our lowest one. But 4 years ago, before we started doing the things we were doing, this lowest score was in the 3.7, 3.8 range. For those of us who are in academics, that would be like a C, C plus kind of a range for how we were doing in that. But here you can see that our lowest score has moved all the way from that 3.7, 3.8 up to a 4.3. And I was so excited to see this. This is for our undergraduate courses for both spring and summer term for those 3 terms. And so you can see that that has gone up substantially. And I think we just need to be really excited about that. So, you know, now that's into a solid B, moving towards a B, you know, get to B plus one of these days. And that's just exciting for me to see us improving that way. Of course, there's always things we can do to improve. You know, with every aspect of our life, we want to keep doing a little bit better, be a better husband or be a better wife, you know, be better with our kids. And so we still can keep working on that. The issue that continues to come, the scores that are always in that below the average, always relate to how we communicate with our students. Again, you can see that we're doing way better. But in some of those comments that we saw from students, what are students saying thanks for? They're saying thanks for the extra video content. They're saying thanks for praying with students. They're saying thanks for hanging out. And then I get to see, from my side of the world, I see so many of the cool things that are happening. Just this morning, I saw one of our faculty members who had come in from out of town, meeting with a student out here in the Commons, interacting. I had an email from one of our professors who lives down near where all the flooding's happening in Louisiana, and he emailed to say, I have current and former students who are emailing me asking to make sure I'm okay. And so we're seeing more and more of these pieces happen where we get that interaction, not just today in our courses, but that continues on. And I know several of you have had those opportunities like I have, where a student comes back, you've had them in 2 or 3 classes, and they say, I'm going on to seminary, would you be willing to write that letter for me? Or I still had this problem in my church. We kind of covered it in that class, but it's been a year and I need a refresher. Would you be willing to help me out? And so we're seeing a lot more of those things happening. And so I think that's, again, an encouragement for us just to keep on investing in our students. And like Dr. O'Neill said, you know, our students, most of them are where? In ministry, aren't they? And so they're looking for these kinds of things to help them out. We've had some questions that have come back. Whatever those students say, is that what, you know, lives and kills us? And, you know, spending 20 years in youth ministry, I always felt like one of the terrible things was that the way people saw me rose and fell on the maturity level of a bunch of 13 and 14-year-olds, you know? And so I think sometimes, you know, we get panicked that, a bunch of students said that this is a terrible course. And I just want you to know, that's not how we're looking at stuff. We're using that maybe as a trigger to say, how can we get in there and help a little bit better? What does that professor need? How can we help you in that area? But we're not using those metrics just to come along so we can, you know, treat you badly or say you're not teaching anymore. But they kind of just trigger it so that we can look at things a little bit more. So kind of some of the goals here to want to keep moving that needle. I couldn't find one where the arrow was just a little bit more, but we are way out of the red zone, and we are better than the middle and the yellow zone. We are in that green zone, and we just want to continue to keep working on that, continuing to get us all up into that 4.0 or better range. And again, has anybody ever had one of those terms where there's some sickness in your family or something wasn't going right at your church, or you just were off one term? I've had a couple of those where it wasn't perfect. And so again, we realize that you may have one of those terms that something just doesn't go right. And we're there to come alongside of you to help you continue to improve in that. We want to continue seeing more faculty participate in some of these things like the Illuminate sessions, and the feedback we've been getting from those has been really good. It's been really interesting for me too in the bigger educational world to hear from many of the other colleges, not just Christian colleges like ours, but big name schools that are saying, how can we engage our faculty better? And we now have some of these tools that we're implementing that are like up there with the big dogs. And so that's encouraging as well. And we're working on some training badges, and we have those, and I think by November we'll have 6 different badges that you can go through and get some credit for those. And we'll continue to work on the degreed pathways too. And then Janet mentioned it earlier, but we're continuing to improve our coaching process so that for those faculty who need and want some additional help, that we'll be able to help you through that and figure out how can I continue to tweak things. I happened at the hotel last night to turn the TV on, and there's some new program about reinvesting money in Cleveland, Ohio, and the guy said, even LeBron James has a coach. And so, I'm not a LeBron James fan anyhow, but it stuck in my mind that even the best of us have that opportunity to improve with our coach. If we have a coach who can help us out with that, and so we can continue on. Do not throw temper tantrums and flop on the floor, but that's a whole different story. Go Steph Curry. What? No, I'm not seeing the comments. What are people? Is people screaming at me or what?
We know LeBron is the coach.
Yeah, that was it. Okay, great. Just ask him. Yeah, I am sure. A couple of the things that we've done in particular is we've tried to sharpen our focus in a couple of areas. And one of those areas is with our online self-paced program. And this is Lydia Gillespie, who is one of our part-time professionals, and on this beautiful blank screen. But we have a video clip. And Mike, we had an issue with the earlier video clip that it did not show online. So so I don't know if we can get that. We got the URL out to people. But maybe what we can do is we'll send this URL out for this as well. And Mike's going to put the URL in the chat, folks, so that you can see it there. And then for those of us here in the room, somebody's serenading us from the kitchen behind us. But this is Lydia, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about some of the things that we're doing to help improve the instruction in the self-paced world. And one of the things that we found is Lydia and I tried to work at finding best practices is guess who has like the most experience in doing online self-paced across the country? Moody Bible Institute. Other people have just discovered there's this new phenomenon called online self-paced. And we're like, yeah, we've been doing it for years. But nobody else, the other people who are like cutting edge have done it for 2 years. And so we're in that process of just how can we keep improving what we're doing. So, all right, Mike, let's roll it.
Greetings, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lydia Gillespie. I am a part-time professional working on the instructional quality team within the online self-paced world. And today I'm excited to be able to give you guys an overview of the online self-paced instructional quality development plan, as well as let you guys know about some exciting resources that we have available for the online self-paced instructors. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, I wanted to be able to provide you guys with a little bit of context for the development plan. When the instructional quality team inherited the online self-paced courses a couple of years ago, we began noticing some challenges in the environment that we were concerned about. We noted that there were low course evaluation scores from students, that there also was a really high rate of student attrition in the online self-paced courses. And upon further inspection, we found that both students and instructors alike were suffering from disengagement in the classroom. Finally, we noted that some new instructional behaviors were going to be needed for the changing world of distance learning. So based on these challenges, the instructional quality team began brainstorming, trying to decide how we were going to address these challenges. And ultimately, we ended up back at what we know best, a strong instructional presence. We know from our 8-week courses that the strong instructional presence does a lot to help address some of the challenges that we were seeing in the online self-paced world. Scholarly research also backs this up. So scholarly research tells us that a strong instructional presence is going to increase student engagement rates. It will decrease student attrition rates, as well as increase student satisfaction rates. And overall, this is going to work to manifest a more productive and engaging learning environment. And finally, a strong instructional presence is going to work to accomplish Moody's mission more effectively, in that we are going to be able to richly equip our students with the gospel of Christ to be able to impact the world for Christ. So you're probably familiar with some of these concepts that are prevalent throughout MBL and in the rhetoric that we have and the training courses. We're already striving for educational excellence in our 8-week courses, so it seems like a very natural transition to have these instructional quality standards migrate over to the online self-paced environment. So to this end, last year, the online self-paced IQ standards were developed, and the online self-paced IQ development plan was commissioned. Given the unique nature of the online self-paced environment, the online self-paced IQ standards reflect a modified version of the instructional quality standards that we ask for in the 8-week classes. All of these are built off of leading industry standards and scholarly research. As part of these standards, we're asking our instructors to be logging into their class a minimum of twice a week. We're asking for weekly announcements to be posted for their students, preferably video announcements. And finally, we're asking that graded assignments and papers be returned to our students within 7 days. All of these activities are really tangible ways to be able to create a strong instructional presence in the classroom and draw the students back into the learning process and engage them. We realize that these standards are new in the online self-paced environment, and that the online self-paced environment is very distinctive and provides some unique challenges for students and instructors alike. In order to further support our online self-paced instructors, we have developed the online self-paced instructional quality development plan. This is a 3-part program that is aimed to support and encourage instructors as they're reaching for these online self-paced IQ standards. The 3 components of the program are: 1, the online self-paced IQ standards emails. These are reminder emails that are sent out about every 2 weeks, and they're built off of the online self-paced course checklist. The aim of these emails is to help instructors create a rhythm for their instructional presence in their classroom, with regular reminders about the standards and other activities that need to be happening in the classroom. The rhythm will hopefully develop throughout the term as instructors work through those. The second part of the development plan is the online self-paced instructional quality observation program. This program's aim is twofold. The first part of the program serves as a data collection point. An MBL staff member, myself currently, will be observing the classrooms and the implementation of the online self-paced IQ standards, and we'll be collecting data related to that. This data is really helpful because we can compare it to our student survey results, which can help us measure our success. It also allows us to see trends term over term and to be able to identify what's working for our instructors, what's working for our students, and ultimately this is going to help us to reach for success and excellence within our instructional quality. The second part of the observation program is that it's going to inform the third part of the development plan, and that is the online self-paced IQ accountability program. The accountability program is a connection point for us with our online self-paced instructors. It allows for us, with the data that we get from the observation program, to be able to provide timely support and feedback to our instructors as they're striving to implement these online self-paced IQ standards. All of these are aimed at supporting and lifting our instructors up as we're trying to develop the instructional quality in the online self-paced environment. In addition to these, we have some exciting new resources for you guys. First is the online self-paced faculty resource page. This is going to have a collaborative space on discussion boards where we can exchange ideas, challenges, and help each other address those challenges. If you have resources that work really well in your classroom, this would be a great place to share those with your peers. We'll also have access to other resources and materials on there, the course checklist, and we're going to be making some continuing education opportunities available on this page as well. So this will be an offshoot of the faculty community page, so be watching for that to go live shortly. And this leads us to the second resource that we have available for instructors, and that's going to be an upcoming Illuminate training session. We're very excited about this training session. This is going to be an opportunity for us to work together to reframe the online self-paced environment. It's going to allow us to do a more in-depth look at the standards and the implementation of the standards and help unpack what's going on in the online self-paced world a little bit more than we've been able to do in this short announcement section here. So we feel that this is going to be a really important class for any of our current online self-paced instructors or anybody who's interested in teaching an online self-paced course in the future. We hope to see you guys there. Thank you for your time and attention. We are excited about the developments in the online self-paced environment and really look forward to continuing to walk alongside you in this development process. We realize that you, as the faculty members, are on the front lines of the educational process, and we want to do everything we can to be able to support you. If you have questions or comments or concerns related to the online self-paced IQ development plan, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to be able to answer your questions or field your comments. You can email me at lydia.gillespie@moody.edu. I look forward to talking with you guys, and I'll see you all in the online self-paced environment. Blessings to you all.
All right, so that's a little bit about the self-paced environment. I don't know how many of you are involved with that, but if you are interested, you can let myself or Lydia know, or I guess you can email MBL faculty if you would like to try that out. It's a little bit of a different environment where students are able to work on classes throughout a 16-week semester instead of 8 weeks. And so if you're interested in that, you can let us know. We also, I don't know if everybody understands necessarily the scope. It took me a long time to figure this out. We work with our typical 8-week undergraduate courses. We have the 16-week self-paced courses. We also have graduate courses, MA programs that are part of distance learning. And then we also service a bunch of the online programs for the seminary for MTS as well. But in that process, we've had such great success with what we've seen working in the online self-paced world that we're going to be rolling some of that out as well for our distance learning master's programs. And Barb Spurrier is going to be working on that, and so she's going to come up and just share a couple minutes about that.
I know that many of you have other things that you have to go to right now, so I won't be offended if you have to sneak out for our class or anything, but just wanted to say, first of all, I've been involved with the IQ team for a couple of years now. I've been basically an online teaching assistant, although I've been involved with a few other programs, like you may have received emails from me for the Zero Out program, the end of courses, things like that. Well, now I get to be part of adapting the program which Lydia just spoke about, and helping to encourage and remind things the grad school area about the best practices to keep our students engaged in the classroom. And long term, we'd like to have that go out to not just the grad school, but all undergraduate courses, and just to see how we can encourage you to the best of your abilities, but be a resource to you, and that's really what it's about. Anything else you want? Okay. Thank you. If you can always access us through the MDL faculty email. Many of you have emails from me previously, so you can always get back to me as well. and I'd be happy to be a resource.
Okay, thanks, Barb and Andrew and everybody who's involved in that online self-paced improvement program. It's really been a challenge to try and put an overseer in the classroom and get a positive response through that. So the more you can do as a faculty member to support those individuals who are kind of shadowing you in the classroom, we really appreciate that. Speaking of that, that brings me a little bit over to our mentoring and coaching program. You might be contacted by one of the staff members here at the IQ team to say, hey, we have a mentor that we want to put in your classroom, or we have a coach that we want to put in your classroom. That is a part of us being able to improve our processes. We're gathering data from those initiatives. Carol Harding has been a part of that process where she's been jumping into the classrooms. We put together a whole coaching program. We have some survey information and data we'll gather from that as well. So when you get those phone calls or those emails from us, just know we were working on trying to keep improving. Continual improvement is the aim there. So I realize we're a little bit over on our agenda, so I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. I also wanted to say, if you didn't already hear, that Andrew Beatty also won the Unsung Hero Award this year, so congratulations, Andrew. That is an award that goes to people who work behind the scenes tirelessly, and truly, Andrew is that warrior for our team and many others as well. I've never seen anyone network or collaborate the way that Andrew can. He makes it look easy, like breathing. So at this juncture, we're going to say thank you to all of you and congratulations to everyone who won their awards today. Please keep up the good work. We're very inspired by you, and we hope that we're resourcing, recognizing, rewarding, and responding to you in ways that are really healthy and that are developing a good, healthy faculty pool and collaboration across many areas of MDL. So, any questions at this point? So I guess I want to say thank you, and if you need to jet, we get it. But if you have questions, this would be a great time to open up the mic for that. So I am not able to see the chat room from here.
Thanks.
Mostly thanks. Okay, great. So if you're here on the ground and you drove in for our time together, we can stay here and hang out, chat, have dessert. For those of you who logged in, sorry about the dessert. Digital donuts, I don't know how to do those yet. So once Mike figures that out, we'll let you know. All right, thank you everybody. We really appreciate you. Have a great year.
Thank you.